Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? This is Brandon, the man in the middle, back with you with another real discussion. So today we're going to talk about this idea of privilege. That's all you seem to hear about these days is privilege, white privilege. He's privileged, she's privileged, I'm not privileged. And quite frankly, I think it's a load of bullshit. I'm just going to be real, but we're going to dive into that and we're just going to kind of see, hey, is white privilege a real thing? Or is it just another things aren't the way that I want them to be? So what we're going to do, like we always try to do with this channel, is we're going to approach things logically. So what logically means is we're going to take the emotion, we're going to take the sense of fairness out, and we're going to just draw on hard data to decide, hey, is or is this not? So first, let's kind of address the idea of what white privilege is supposed to be. Essentially, that's the notion that because you are white, you don't have to face the challenges that black Americans have to face, or if you do have to face those challenges, the color of your skin is not one of the factors. That's the general idea of white privilege. And I'm going to be honest, to some people out there, maybe having that white skin means that you're better or worse and they're more likely to do something for you. But as a system, which is the only thing that we as people can really focus on, I'm not here to try to put my moral code on anybody or judge individual people. That's just outside of the realm of human possibility. But what we can talk about is the idea of privilege and how it ties into the system as a whole. So I'll be honest, privilege exists. Privilege exists. I'm talking to you now from a computer with a nice microphone that costs more than some people in the world make in a year. You know, I don't have to worry about where my kids are going to live, if they're going to have food in their bellies, clothes on their backs. So by that definition, I am privileged because there are people out there that do not have what I have. And that's not even getting into the, race element of it. But I firmly believe everybody has their own version of privilege. There was a great study that was done, and I don't remember the exact name of it, but essentially the idea of the study is they put everybody at a starting line of a race. And he basically started calling out different things like, hey, if your parents graduated from college, if you have parents that where you had both parents, you can move up a little bit further. And what they will find is that before the race had even started, some of the people were almost at the finish line. And it was used as an idea to put a racial aspect of it. But the fact of the matter is, when you look at privilege, it's not really conclusive to race. I mean, take me. I'm black in America, but I grew up middle class family. And so I had the same opportunities that people that did, like, white people did. Like, I went to Catholic school. I personally, maybe some people that didn't hire me because I was black, if they did, I didn't know about it. I've never had an issue, getting a job. People don't follow me around places. So my race has never really been a factor in me being mistreated in any kind of way. So what we don't really have is racial privilege, because if it was racial privilege, it would apply to all members of a certain race. So white privilege would be, hey, I'm white, I get instant 750 credit score and $10,000 towards my first house. That's privilege. Do some people have that? Sure. But we're all privileged in some way in this country. If you have athletic ability and somebody else doesn't, you're privileged. If you have both parents in your life, you're privileged. If you have education prospects, you are mentally more intelligent than your peer, you are privileged. Hell, if you really break it down to it, if you're healthy, you have privilege. There's millions of people tens of millions of people in the world that aren't healthy. So if you really look at it, the idea of being privileged, you're kind of not meaning anything, right? You're saying, "Oh, you have white privilege," but okay, I'm living in a trailer park, um, trying to wonder where I'm going to get feed for my kids, just like you. So that white skin did me a whole lot of good. It's kind of some bullshit. You know, we live in America. We privileged. If you don't believe so, then why are people trying to come here? Like, we have it so good in America that we take little shit and we blow it up because we got nothing real to focus on. Because there's nothing really that bad in our life. We're not being kidnapped and raped at the rate that it is in some of these other countries. We don't have real police brutality. I'm just going to be real. You want to know police brutality? Google Venezuela. Now that's some police brutality. Police in this country kill about 100 unarmed men a year in a population of 312 million. And in Venezuela, with a population of a little over 20 million, with one of the most strictest gun control laws in the entire world, their police kill about 6,000 people a year, unarmed. That's some police brutality for your ass. So I think we really have to, as a nation, just start recognizing that, hey man, we got it good. Can things always get better? Yeah, that's true. But turning on each other and having some kind of beef because, oh, the color of your skin means you don't have to deal with the thing that I have to deal with is, one, kind of ridiculous because we all have our own problems, all have our own struggles. Whether you have money, don't have money, whether you white, black, Asian, Martian, green, it doesn't matter. We all have our own struggle. We all have things that both benefit us and are detriments to us based on different factors in our life. And so demonizing somebody else, one, for something they can't control. Like, think about that. The same people who are posting and mentioning all this white privilege are the same people who claim to be fighting racism. But if you're fighting racism, how are you fighting racism while drawing broad conclusions about a large group of people based solely on the color of their skin? That, by any definition of the word, is racist. So the idea of white privilege is racist. Because there's going to be millions of people who are white who are going to be looking around and it's like, no. Look at what I have to deal with. And I think we have to recognize that. Like, we have to have that respect and empathy for each other to not, one, segregate ourselves like that. Towards saying, oh, you know, this is my corner, that's your corner, this is what you can say and what you can talk about, and this is your circumstances, and this is what yours is. Because one, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that there's going to be animosity because you're putting people on the defensive and you're judging them when you don't even know them. And two, it's frankly illogical. It really and truly is. And the only way that you can really justify it is to really ignore the facts that lead up to it. Because it comes into situational things like, so what do you mean? Where does this apply? And what they like to do is talk about, well, look at the interactions with the police. Well, you know what? We're going to do that. Not in this video. I'll be coming with a video probably today or tomorrow. But we're going to dive into the police and their interactions in the black community. And we're going to see, hey, is there some kind of racial discrepancy? And if there is, where does it come from? Hi, this is Brandon.